So we're going to finish going over number 6. So you want the converse, so you would say if x equals 2, then x plus 3 equals 5. So converse is if red, then blue. Not a lot of room to write here. I'm going to try to squeeze the inverse in there. We're going to negate this statement, the conditional. So we would say if not blue, then not red. So it would look like this. How do you say not this? This is x plus 3 equals 5. If you want it to not equal 5, put a slash through it. Negate it and put a slash through it. So your inverse would be if x plus 3 is not equal to 5, then x is not equal to 2. I'll move the contrapositive over here. The contrapositive is the negation of your converse. So we're going to say if not red, then not blue. That's how number 6 would work. Number 7 is from a different section. It says for the given statement, write the if-then form, the converse, the inverse, and the contrapositive, and indicate whether each statement is true or false. So look at number 7. When it rains, it pours. Notice how that's not even an if-then statement. There's no if, there's no then. So you need to work with this again. They give you the statement, it looks like this. You need to make it look like this. And then take the converse, the inverse, and the contrapositive. Okay, so we're going to change that statement into an if-then statement. So it should look like if it rains, then it pours. Converse, obviously you're switching red and blue. So you would say if it pours, then it rains. Inverse, you're negating the conditional. So you would say if it doesn't rain, then it doesn't pour. Contrapositive is if it doesn't pour, then it doesn't rain. Those are the statements that you should be able to write. Now, the other thing that you have to do is talk about the truth values. So we'll just start at the top with the conditional. If it rains, then it pours. Is that true? It's not true. If it's raining, it doesn't have to be pouring. It could be sprinkling. Look at the converse. If it's pouring, is it raining? That's true. Notice how your conditional and your converse do not mean the same thing. A lot of times they won't. Inverse. If it doesn't rain, then it doesn't pour. So if it's not raining, it's not pouring. That's true. And then our last one, if it doesn't pour, then it doesn't rain. Well, if it doesn't pour, it could be sprinkling, which is rain. Now, remember, you can check your work here. We know which of these are equivalent. The conditional and the contrapositive must have the same truth value. Notice how they're both false. The converse and the inverse also are equivalent. They must have the same truth value, and they do. So if you need to pause the video to take a look at this and write it out, then you can. Now, that had nothing to do with math per se, the statement, raining, but number 8 does. Number 8 talks about any 4 collinear points being coplanar. That's like statement 3. Change it so it looks like statement 1, and then find the converse, inverse, and contrapositive. So your conditional statement should be if 4 points are collinear, then they are coplanar. Converse, switch the red and the blue, would be if 4 points are coplanar, then they are collinear. Inverse, if 4 points are not collinear, then they are not coplanar. You're just negating that conditional. Contrapositive would be, if 4 points are not coplanar, then they are not collinear. You also have to determine if these are true or false. So first one, if you have 4 points that are collinear, that means 4 points in a line. Are they in the same plane? Definitely true. Now, you automatically know that if this is true, then the contrapositive is true. Converse, what if you have 4 points that are on a plane? Do they have to be in a line? No. Think about 4 random points on the floor. They don't have to be in a line. They can be coplanar and not collinear. So that's false. Now, the converse and the inverse mean the same thing. So we automatically know that that inverse is false.